Are we good? Is that it?
Yeah.
Are we good?
Damn it.
Oh, solid
No
intro.
way.
Welcome to Struggle City. This is the city limits. We're fucking up great today.
We're struggling.
This is fantastic. So today, struggling, we've got Dave, Miss, Dom, this fuck, and me.
That's Pat for you.
This fuck is Pat. This fuck is Pat.
Whoa.
It's aggressively Russian.
Pat, why are you racist?
I'm racist. No, you know what? I am a little racist
no,
against
no.
Russians.
Give her a chance. She'll find her niche before the episode's over.
We'll figure it out. We'll put it
Yeah,
in there
it'll be
somewhere.
really easy.
All right.
So we're doing childhood traumas today.
Yes, based
From
off of
movies
movies and
Yeah.
TV shows.
We're not talking about the time that confession got a little intimate. Just
Father O'Fondlin.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
an altar server, so
yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Oh,
Two of the priests from school
yeah,
I
I
went
actually
to.
knew him personally.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you know the Cardinal too?
No, they weren't cardinals; they were just pastors.
Oh my
It-
God.
Fucking asshole.
It wasn't
Well,
just
that's
the
what
body.
they
Of,
were
Yeah.
Derailed.
it wasn't just the body of Christ you're holding in your mouth.
Guys.
Okay,
was the
and
dick of the
anyway,
priest.
so we're gonna start with Pat, and then we're just kind of gonna go around and comment on each other. So,
All right. So when I was in 5th grade, I don't know why I'm talking to this thing like it's a person.
I do it too.
You're talking to the audience.
When I was in 5th grade, fellas and
Fellas.
fellettes,
Fellatio.
fellatio. All right, when I was in 5th grade, my fellow fellatios, I decided to look on demand for a movie to watch.
Oh no.
No.
Very late at night. It wasn't porn, but it was pretty damn close at first. It was a movie by the name of Hostel, directed by Eli Roth.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 5th grade. I was fucking.
You
I've
poor
never-
Actually, I might have been
kid.
younger than that. I
never
might have been
heard of
4th or
that
3rd.
movie.
Don't watch any
It's
Eli
torture
Ross.
porn.
So
It's
yeah,
real bad.
so it starts off as just regular porn. So
It does.
when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my god. So essentially, it's about these 3 or 4 backpackers in Eastern Europe that go to a youth hostel, and they're just trying to fuck and have a great time, just like everybody else. And
Oh wait, yeah, no, I know what movie.
what ultimately winds up happening is the rich people bid on them at this hostel, and the winner gets to torture and kill the person that they've essentially won.
Oh my God.
That wasn't what I really knew at the time.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching it, like the first half hour is literally just people fucking. So I was like, this is great. This is a fucking 13, 12, 11-year-old's dream. And then all of a sudden the dude wakes up
That's
in
only
this
in 5th grade.
dark ass room. Nah, I was definitely younger than that because this shit traumatized me. Like fucking dark ass room. There's like all these tools and shit on the table. I'm like, I'm fucking like 11, but I know that this dude's about to get fucked up. So then it turns out the dude that was on the train with him is like he's like, I always wanted to be a surgeon. He's like, got his hands are shaking. And he fucking slices this dude's Achilles tendons open in the chair. Now, what I didn't know was
Stop. Hold on.
apparently this scene was legit because he obviously wasn't slicing his Achilles tendons, but in the scene he was moving around in the chair so much, the guy in the chair,
Okay,
That-
tell me what this is.
the chair smashed his toe and broke it, so his screams were real.
Wow.
And it looked legit, like it looked fucking real. And that's when I turned it off.
Oh, good. You turned it off. Though.
I watched it again years later, but so that fucked me up for a while. I never went back to it. And then for some reason in like 8th grade, where me and my family are taking a trip up to the mountains. Like on the way there, on the highway, I started seeing the mountains and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And then all of a sudden, a voice in my head was like, if something happens up here, nobody's going to fucking know. And then I thought about the movie. And I was like, oh, Jesus, somebody's going to kidnap me and my family and torture us to death and slice our Achilles tendons and make us crawl out of it. Like, I had a lot of thoughts running around in my head. So, that was terrifying. Also, the second thing, it's actually a little shorter. Sex in the City.
What?
Now, this was when I was much, much younger. I was, like, really little, like, preschool. My mom used to watch it because it was out at the time.
Sure.
And she would always be like, leave the room. Like, Sex in the City's on. You can't be watching this with me. I'd be like, all right, fine. So, I don't know why my 4-year-old self sounded like
Seth Rogen.
somebody underwater. But,
Seth Rogen.
Baby Seth Rogen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got the little beard going.
but,
Baby Seth Rogen. God damn it.
Oh my God.
Back up.
so, there would be some times where obviously I'm not going to be out of the room the whole time. So I'm walking through and I would just see titties and
That's
and just
traumatizing.
people fucking. When you're like 4, yeah, because you're
Yeah.
like, why are they moving around on the bed like that? What are they doing? Are they?
Because
Are
it
they?
looks like the guy is like hurting. the
Yeah,
girl.
I was like, what the fuck's going on?
And nobody, regardless of the age, would have to look at Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah,
That's so fucking
it's bestiality, really.
It is.
Oh my
Um,
god.
She looks like a
Basically
horse
Tijuana.
pussy.
She does.
Yeah, it was basically Tijuana.
South Park wasn't joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Sex in the City, that was my first exposure to sex, really. But then watching it later, like now, I'm like, Sex in the City, where the fuck's all the sex?
Yeah, there's not as
There's
much.
really
sex,
not that
there
much.
really
I just
isn't much
happen to
sex
walk
as you
through
think.
every time, like the 2% chance.
Yeah, there
I hit the
really
lottery,
isn't
I
as much
guess.
sex as you think. It's more about the emotional, like, stuff. It really isn't as big
But
as
yeah.
sex.
Those, okay, real quick, actually.
There's a PS.
You were going to talk about Saw, weren't you?
The third one. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just wait then.
Oh, okay.
Because I haven't-
Specifically the third one.
Yes, specifically the third one.
Pacific.
Alright, Dom.
So I have 2 movies and a TV show. So I'll talk about the TV show first, I guess. So I was just informed that this TV show used to be called Ghost Rider, and I wasn't the only one who watched it, but like I totally, for the longest time, thought I just made it up in my head. So I was so young. I can't even remember how old, but I was really young, and we used to watch it. It was educational. It was supposed to be, and these kids had this little ghost orb friend. Looking back on it, it was really kind of weird. But we used to watch it all the time. Well, there was this like 2-part episode where one girl gets this like toy, and it's this slime monster, and it starts going crazy. It's like evil, and it's throwing slime at these kids, and you don't know what the slime's doing, but it's just not good. And I think it just messed me up because first off, this thing is creepy as shit. It's like this.
Awful.
It looks like a purple brain, but it's like a small purple brain, and then it got bigger, and then it got tall, and you're like freaking out.
It looks like Chucky got fucked by one of the California raisins.
What's the show
Basically,
called?
yeah.
Ghost
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
So it just like it was creepy,
Yeah, Ghost
but
Rider
also
slime
it
monster.
just made you nervous because the thing could get in your house, and even when the parents were there, the parents couldn't save the kids, and you didn't know what this like slime like was like. This kid one time, I remember he went in the kitchen to defeat it, and it had a helmet, and it like ate through his helmet, and you're like really young watching this show, like, and I could not turn like so I had a bunk bed. And I was up on the top, and my sister was on the bottom, and I had this little hole area where you could stick the ladder, but my ladder was on the other side. There were 2 holes. Yeah. It's creepy. It really is.
Yeah.
I couldn't turn over because I totally thought it was standing there about to slime me. Like, I had nightmares about it for about 2-3 months, and I still remember what it used to look like. Like, that, my memory is like, I will never forget it. So then going off of Creepy Faces, another, like, movie. It wasn't really the movie itself, but the ending of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
When,
Yeah.
was it
I've never
Christopher
seen that.
Lloyd, right?
Yeah, Judge
Oh,
Doom.
When
good.
Christopher
Great
Lloyd
movie.
gets smushed, and then he starts, first off, his voice was fucking scary.
Oh,
It was
not
high
even
pitched.
when he takes off the glasses. Just like only when he gets flattened.
When he gets flattened,
Okay.
and as soon as he gets flattened, he pops out, he starts talking, first off, freaked,
Mm-hmm.
and then the eyes pop out of his head. I always thought he was going to walk into my door with his fucking eyes
Jesus.
and, like, come at me. I had nightmares, so it was awful at night. Like, I would think, like, I didn't even watch Chucky, but, like, when Chucky came out in the commercials, like, I couldn't lay on my bed because I thought he was going to be under my bed stabbing me. Like, I couldn't sleep for months after these things, but I will always remember his eyes. I still, to this day, can't watch that movie at the end. I have to skip over it because his eyes freak me the fuck out.
It's a super good movie though.
It's a
never
good
seen it.
movie. It's on Netflix. We'll have to watch it.
I definitely recommend
And
it.
then the last movie, obviously, is It. So, backstory. I was afraid of clowns before this movie. I went to the circus when I was 7, and I hated them. They'd come up in my face, and it was just not fun. So, when I was 10, we had the old TV still. And it didn't have a guide. So we still had the one upstairs. And I was flipping through the channels. And this movie comes on, it's halfway through already. I didn't know what it was. I'd never heard of it before. And so I just started watching it because it looks like a fun, like, coming-of-age movie. Like, was it The Outsiders? Not The Outsiders.
Yeah, Outsiders.
Outsiders.
Stand by Me.
Stand By Me. Like, I
mean,
thought it was one of those,
It is a coming of age.
now and then. I thought it was one of those because, like, all the kids are together talking and whatnot. Well, then the next scene changes, and this kid is in the locker room, and he's trying to get a shower, and I start hearing noises, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck's going on? And then, like, I hear this squeaky voice, and I'm like, oh, fucking shit. And then all of a sudden he falls, and this ugly ass clown with teeth longer than my arm pops out of this drain, and I lost it. And I couldn't change the channel because just a little bit. But you're 10, you think the teeth are longer than your arm. I had to run out of the room because I couldn't change the channel
The
because the
shower
remote
scene was
broke.
really creepy. I'll give
It's
you that.
intense, yeah.
Because the remote broke. So I
Oh.
couldn't change the channel, so I had to leave the room. But I'm screaming, I'm crying, and I never will forget that moment. That kind of solidified the clown fear forever.
When you were flipping through the channels and you came across a movie called It.
No. There was no guide. It didn't say what
I
the
was
movie
gonna say,
was.
what did you think that would be?
They didn't say what the movie was because
Okay.
there was no. This TV was like really, really old. There was no
Gotcha.
guide. There was no. You didn't even know what channel you were flipping to.
Gotcha.
So it just happened to be on one of the commerce scenes, and I thought, oh, cute coming of age movie. And then I got, oh my god, you're gonna get eaten by a clown.
Back in the day, there used to be a publication called TV Guide that told you when everything
They
was
still
coming
have
on.
we didn't
They
even
still
have.
that.
We
Why?
didn't even.
Mhm.
We didn't
Old
even
people.
have that.
Legitimately, solely
Just
old
old
people
people?
buy TV Guide, and then just
Forget how many old people
they just
are out
they.
there.
Oh my god!
I really do.
There's
I
enough
forget how
old
many old
people
people there are.
to warrant an influx of nurses.
Yes,
Hmm.
because people are living longer and just they just not dying.
Yeah.
But now, of course, the new It just like upped all that stuff by 11, and I can't even watch that movie without sitting. I did 3 sittings, guys.
Yes,
Fell off the couch, twisted Missy's arm, almost knocked her in the with the elbow.
Yeah. That was.
That was
I wish we
intense.
had recorded.
it was like
your reaction.
it was like a 4D movie.
It really was. It was great.
The house scene was the worst. That was so intense. I couldn't even breathe. We had to pause it, and I had
I
to walk
wanted
away.
more.
Oh, that
Of
should
how
have been
he
so
was
much
like-
more playing
Yeah,
with them.
yeah. I wanted to see him play with
glad
Eddie
that
more.
you guys think so.
Well, okay,
I
it's
was
also
like-
Bill Skarsgård, and he's sexy.
Yeah, and
Not as Pennywise, but
no,
no,
she
no,
definitely
yeah,
has a
no.
fetish for the
Oh, yeah.
clown.
No, I do
No,
not.
definitely as Pennywise.
No.
Yeah, I love that Brendan Gross.
More. no,
Oh.
more as like from Hemlock Grove when he was
My
younger.
favorite part was when
Oh,
Maya
so
actually
werewolf.
watched that one scene with the hand, and she's cracking
Oh,
up.
yeah.
She was cracking up.
It's
I'm
great.
like,
That's
but I didn't
funny.
see what she was laughing at. So we were watching the MTV Movie and TV Awards because I wanted to watch Black Panther win and stuff, and they did Best Villain, and Bill Skarsgård was up for Best Villain. So of course they showed all the It scenes. So I wasn't watching, but then all of a sudden Maya's laughing behind me, and I couldn't figure out why. And she's like, "That scene, I'm sorry, I know you think this is, scary, but that scene where he's sitting in the field with the hand and he's waving his leg," I'm like, "You
I catch
sick?"
myself at that
I was
point.
like,
So
"You
good.
sick bastard!
I'm
So
sick.
You're
Fuck
all
it.
sick."
It's like half funny, but half like funny in like a really, really creepy way.
Right, because he goes
Yeah.
from chewing on it to
Hey,
Waving.
I'm gonna get you. Yeah.
If I saw that in real life, I'd be like, that's pretty good. I'd be like, you can eat me now. That was pretty funny. You know,
You have permission to
Yeah.
eat me
Earn this
because you made me
kill.
laugh. All right,
God.
your turn. All right, so I have a couple of examples. They were all from when I was living in my original house, except for one. And so I was 9 years old when we moved out there. So from there, that's like my timeline because I don't know what age I was with things. I think I was like 6 when I watched Aliens with my parents because they thought it would be a great
With
idea.
Winona Ryder?
that's Alien
No.
Resurrection.
Oh.
No, the good one was Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, that's what I meant. That Winona Ryder,
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver. I get their names mixed up. 'cause
She's
they're so
in
They're both
weird.
the one.
names,
Yeah, she's in all of them. Yeah,
Is Winona Ryder in them?
she's in Alien Resurrection, the 4th one.
that's
Oh,
a
okay.
good one.
I
That's
do-
okay.
I
Oh
remember
no, I
that
meant
one.
Sigourney Weaver. Their names are both weird.
They are weird.
So
But it's the second one, and I was like 6 years old, and my parents were thinking that I was going to be traumatized, and yet they let me stay, and I was not traumatized, and I became obsessed with that movie. So that was kind of like a reverse traumatization, but I just wanted to put that out there.
Fun quick thing,
Huh.
I have the director's cut for the first Alien, and that's a different director. That's Ridley Scott. So he does an introduction for the Blu-ray, and he says, "Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Like it's his fucking kid's fridge art. Like, yeah, I think my movie's pretty good. It's not bad.
I love that.
6 out of 10.
It's just so funny.
It is a good movie.
It's a fantastic movie.
The Neverending Story kind of traumatized me as a kid for several different reasons. The horse dying, just the whole
The wolf.
land. But yeah, the wolf freaked me out.
Never watched that movie, but it's funny. All I hear about is how traumatizing it is. Like everybody,
Yeah.
that's
The
literally
wolf is
the
scary
one
just
thing.
because it's like not real, but it looks kind of
Like
real.
his mouth in particular bothered me so much. Like when he was
It's-
talking, it
it's
was
the
slowly
articulation,
open.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
think
just
I've
like
ever heard anybody say they love the Neverending Story. All
It's
I
not
ever
a
hear
good
is
movie.
horror stories about how
it's
terrible
just so
it is.
creative, but it's
Yeah.
so
And
traumatic.
the creepiest part about it is all the animatronics. Like,
Yeah.
It's almost like it's like
That's the only good part.
Big
about
ass
it.
Muppets.
Falcor was freaky.
Oh yeah, the one.
Yeah.
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 his voice was too deep
Oh,
for me.
yeah.
I've never seen
What
it,
about
so I don't- I
Pandora's
have no
Like
Box?
it, and he talks like he's had a stroke.
Did you never see that?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, the one I forget what the creature's name is, but Pandora's Box, when the guy with the eyes.
Oh, Pan's
nobody-
Labyrinth.
Pan's
Yeah, Pan's
Labyrinth, not
Labyrinth.
Yeah, we were
Pandora's
talking about
Box.
that the other day. I watched it for the
that
first time the
scene.
other day.
I didn't think
Oh,
that
it
was
was
that
the
scary.
best. I love that.
That
I
was
need to- I
really
need to rewatch
fucking.
His
that.
eyeballs were in
It's
his
on
hands.
It is.
Pandora's
Yeah,
Box and then Pan's
Because I
Labyrinth.
have.
I'm
Well-
really bad at articulating.
No, that's okay.
Nice.
I think another one as
Yeah.
a kid. Sorry, Casey's like showing us something. We're all looking at it. But as a kid, another one that traumatized me was the third Saw movie. And like I said, I was younger than 9 years old when I watched this, and my sisters were watching it. And this is where my fear of pigs came in.
Oh, is
Because
this where the
This is where this came from. Yes,
I
because
thought
I
it was
was.
the Miyazaki movie.
Which one?
I
Oh,
didn't see
no.
that until much
Where-
later,
where her
and that
parents
kind of
turn into
helped
pigs.
solidify it.
Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking great movie.
It is.
Ah,
I don't like it.
that's my favorite.
But there's one trap in particular where this guy is like in this giant bowl, and he's not tied.
bowl?
He's like chained down.
a bowl?
Yeah, like a giant. He's in like a giant tank.
You mean a
thing.
silo?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know. He's in a bowl. Fuck it. But he's chained down by the neck, and all of a sudden, like the pigs just start coming in, and like they're these giant fucking pigs. Like they're not like the little ones. They're fucking huge.
Of course, yeah.
Stop.
Oh, stop.
Fucking stop.
No.
Oh my god.
No.
That just made me so nervous. Oh my god, stop. I'm like really anxious now.
You're
I
fine.
can't stand
Okay, fine.
pigs.
Oink, oink.
They're fucking weird. But yeah, so like they come in.
They're omnivores too. They eat anything.
Yeah.
They're
They'll eat you.
opportunistic.
They will
Yeah.
eat you. Anyway, I talked about that before on a different podcast.
Attack pigs.
But so these pigs come in. Don't answer that. And,
I'm gonna talk to your dad.
don't talk to my dad.
I'm gonna talk. Hi,
And
Bernie.
Bernie. But they come in and then they get put through this shredder, and then all of that goes into the bowl, and he's supposed to like drown in these pig guts and blood and just death and decay. And
So the
it's,
pigs don't eat him. He just drowns in
no,
their guts.
they're dead. So they're like carcasses of just like awful.
Yumminess.
Just they're
So
so
you just
nasty.
really just don't like pigs.
I
Because
don't.
I thought
Chorizo.
they eat him.
No, they don't eat him. But he gets so close to dying, and like when you see him in there, like there's just chunks of meat in there, and it's
Yeah,
so
really.
disgusting.
Me
Like the
too.
colors that they had for it, it's just nasty. And then like to make matters
God.
worse,
I want bacon.
the pigs like keep coming in like faster and faster, and it's like you have to make this
Did
guy
he
had to make
live?
a decision. He did live for then, and then he died later.
You
What
just
movie
start
was this?
eating your way out.
The third Saw.
Oh, I never finished that one. So
Yeah.
I was
I
confused.
Yeah,
stopped
that
after
one-
The second
It's
one.
actually funny you bring that up because that was also
One of yours.
one of mine, but I didn't want to like just in case we had the same like basic. So when the third one came out, I was still a huge fan of wrestling at the time. So I was watching not like fucking real wrestling, like the WWE. So I
Like
was watching
wrestling.
Friday Night SmackDown. I still had a TV in my room. It was kind of the same thing that you had. Like you couldn't really.
You
there was
couldn't
no
really do
guides,
anything,
Just
yeah.
cable channel.
I stopped watching
Um,
TV on that TV
yeah.
after that. I stopped.
So
I
did
just wouldn't do
for
it
this
anymore.
reason. So SmackDown was on, and I was watching it in the commercials in between. So I'm sitting on the bed watching the commercials, and there was like an Esurance commercial on, and then right after that, the screen got fuzzy,
Oh god.
and
Oh.
then you know how like the
Oh, yeah.
emergency service announcement, like the colors all came on, and then fucking the puppet Jigsaw's face pops up
That's
on
wonderful.
the screen. And just starts staring at me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" I was like,
Oh, what's
"Yeah,
his
this I was
name?
young
Billy.
for too."
Yeah.
So
It's Billy the puppet.
So I'm like, all right, I don't know what the fuck that was, but I'm just gonna keep watching SmackDown. So another commercial happens, and then directly after that commercial, it fucking happens again. Except this time, he turns to me, he looks at me, he says, "Hello," and I'm like,
Oh,
all right,
God.
all right.
That would mess me up.
I start
I'm lucky that
hyperventilating, and I'm
never
like, this
happened.
motherfucker's coming to get me.
Hello.
That's freaky.
Like I'm gonna wake
Is it
up in
me
like some
you're
torture
looking
chamber.
for?
So I run
Yeah.
downstairs and I grab we had a family friend down there. I was like, you gotta come see this right now. So he's coming upstairs with me, sitting on my bed. Of course it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not crazy.
Wait.
So I never watched TV on that TV again. It's still in my room too, so there's that.
Yeah. Something similar happened to me, but not with a movie. So my dad was trying to set up my sister's TV in her room. Her room is just not a good place to be, because that was where the other TV was too. So he's trying to set it up, and we're only getting like these the channel 3. Well, there was this televangelist guy on, right? And he's talking, and Maya and I are not paying attention. And I'm sitting at the end of her trundle bed, and all of a sudden this guy just starts saying, "You girl with the turquoise shirt at the end of the bed," and I was sitting at the end of the bed with a turquoise shirt on, and I'm like, that's fucking, I ran. I'm like, Dad, can we change the channel
That's
now?
way more specific. Like, if he would have said, hello, Patrick, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. You would have jumped out my fucking window.
Yeah. Like, seriously, I was like, I looked at Maya, and I'm like, you just heard him say that, right? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, Dad, okay, change the channel. Change the channel. And we changed the channel, because I was like, he just fucking talked to
He
me.
was calling upon God. He saw you. Fucking Joel Osteen, man. God damn it.
I've never had anything like that happen
That was
to
really
me, but
creepy.
that would
That's
have freaked me
hilarious.
out.
Specific.
Like,
That's
he was
actually
super
terrifying.
specific.
That is.
You at the end of the girl at the
Yeah.
end of the bed with the turquoise shirt, listen to me, because I wasn't paying attention to him because he was talking about God, and it was just I'm
God.
like,
That's
he was like
really
telling me to pay
disturbing.
attention, and I'm like,
Oh my god.
Maya, the guy in the TV just talked to me.
You were drugged. That's what I tell you.
He wasn't calling upon God. He was actually calling upon the devil.
I'm like, he has a camera in our room somewhere, clearly. But then he called on another guy too. Like right after he called on me, he called on another guy, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Saw.
yeah, so that was that major thing. I was also really traumatized by Chucky with the first
Oh,
one because
yeah.
I saw it when I was young, and I watched it this past Halloween, and I was like, "This is so dumb."
That's the funny thing. I never got to watch it because I was not allowed to whale watch
And it's
scary
got Jack
movies. But
Skellington in it.
Yeah.
again, I was terrified he was gonna, like, even just from watching the commercials, I was terrified he was gonna come under my bed and stab me. So
Yeah.
I actually fell asleep sitting up, and
Yeah.
then would end up being laying back. My friends finally made me watch The Bride of Chucky, and I was like, "This is so fucking dumb.
Uh-huh.
That
Why
one's
was I ever
hilarious.
afraid
There's too
of this?"
many of them
That one's
too.
legitimately hilarious, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I love that girl, the blonde one who's his wife.
Oh,
who
Jennifer Tilly.
I love
Yeah, she's
her.
funny.
I love
She's
her.
real funny.
Her name is familiar. What is her name? Or-
Jennifer Tilly. She's
Yeah.
on Family Guy a lot.
Oh, alright. She has that voice. It's not even her. It's her voice.
She's got like that real
fantastic.
raspy smoker voice.
It's not Bonnie, is it?
It is Bonnie.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your turn.
Is Dave's
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes.
Dave's got to poop.
No, I gotta stretch.
He may be pooping at the same time. I don't know.
He's been on his knees too long.
Alright, well, the one that I remember the most that traumatized me, I don't know if you guys remember, but the VHS sing-alongs from Disney.
Which one?
Oh, like the fake VHS one that Missy was in.
I was
No,
in
no,
that
no, not
movie,
that.
Casey.
You
No,
mean
you weren't.
Barney?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had
yeah.
every
Barney
single one of
sing
those. The
along.
Halloween one.
Yeah, alright, so you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, the fisting.
God.
I thought I was the only fucking one that ever saw that.
I
ever.
never saw the
So-
Halloween
With
so
the
one.
witches.
Yeah!
They were fucking terrifying,
They
bro.
were.
Which one? Wait, which one?
That's one, the one with the parks, the haunted house one.
Yeah, and it was a
The
Halloween
Haunted
song. Even the
Mansion.
song was fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I've never seen this
I'm
one. I
gonna
have
look it up,
another
and we're
one.
gonna watch it later.
Show it to
Terrifying.
me. Show it to me.
Well, I can put it on.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it right now. Actually,
No,
In real time.
I don't
No,
want
we're
to.
not-
I don't
we're not
want to
gonna-
get it copyrighted or anything.
Yeah,
No.
no, we're gonna watch it now, but we'll watch it in a minute. But
yeah, we'll watch
Well,
it.
no, 'cause I
you
never
can't
had
copyright sound.
It could,
Can you?
it could be fair use.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, fair use. Good point.
All right. Well.
But
I know my fair use.
regardless, I was watching it in my not we anymore. I didn't know you when I was like 5, so maybe I did. I don't know. But I was in my living room watching it, and then that part came on. I always left, but I went upstairs to my parents' room this time, and they have a mirror on their
oh
on their
god,
floor.
Oh.
And
stop!
for some reason, I could have swore I saw one of those bitches behind me.
One of those bitches.
Every single time I went down into my basement and it was dark down there, I would run up because I thought they were chasing me.
Yes, same. And those trees.
The fucking trees were alive, bro.
Yeah, I know. There's like fucking Wizard of Oz shit.
That
Oh.
shit was not for kids. I
Don't even
care.
get me started. I just clapped. Don't even get me started on the monkeys in the Wizard of Oz.
Oh my god,
Did
my
they
mom
really traumatize
hates
you?
those.
Yeah, that's
they were a
pretty
little
My
bit,
mom
Didn't they just use like
hates
deformed
Wizard of Oz
dwarfs
because
for
of
that?
those. To the point
Yeah.
where
It was fucked
when we
up,
went to
wasn't it?
go
Like,
see
I know that was the
Wicked,
Munchkins.
Yeah.
when we went to go see Wicked, she looked at
No,
me
but
and my
didn't they
dad and
actually,
goes,
like-
"Are there any
No, because those are
flying monkeys
full-grown
in this
adults.
movie?" Like she was legit scared of them to the point where she was terrified about them in Wicked. The funny part was they were pinnacle in Wicked. They were like a big part, and they actually came out in the very beginning. And I
What's
looked
that
at her, I was
called?
like,
Sing-along
"Hey ma, I
songs?
think
Halloween?
there's a."
See, I really liked the flying monkeys. I thought they were cool.
You
Ah,
can
they
get
were
into a debate with my
terrifying.
mom about them. She hates.
I also
them.
liked the wild things in Labyrinth, and you did not. So
No, those are fucking
Oh, the
creepy.
fire
They're
Those
great,
creeped me
yeah.
out too. Same
I
thing,
hate
basement
when
thing.
they
I thought they
take-
were chasing me.
I hate when
A lot
they
of things
take
that chase
off
me up
their
the stairs.
heads.
I just love it. It's
That
fun.
whole scene, but not only that, you know what actually messes me up? That scene is just so badly done that I can't watch it because it's terrible scene. Like the
Yeah.
whole scene, the
No,
animation.
The animation was really
it's
bad.
hard.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I saw that
Don't
too.
do it.
Full disclaimer: fuck Baby Shark.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, fuck
Okay.
Baby Shark.
Preach.
Yeah.
But I had another one that was pretty bad too.
Oh, that's the full fucking movie.
Oh,
Oh,
that's the
no.
real
Oh my
thing.
gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole fucking
Okay.
thing.
No,
Okay,
I'm
all
alright.
right. Let's keep going with this real
Right.
quick.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll cue it up.
Um,
So here we go.
But there was another one that now escapes me a little bit.
Do you want a second?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to say something real quick. Mrs. Doubtfire actually traumatized me as a kid too.
When? Why?
In the very beginning, because this was my dad showed me this movie right after they got divorced.
Yeah.
And so when Robin Williams and
You
Sally
thought
Field,
your dad was gonna dress up as
no, I did
She
not.
was.
I thought I was just really upset when Robin Williams and Sally Field were yelling at each other and arguing, and that just kind of brought me back
Aw,
to
I'm
childhood. So
sorry.
that one was like an emotional one for you, but
I have something
Yeah.
traumatizing that didn't actually happen in a movie or TV show. This is actually like real life. So you talk about your base. Oh my god,
I
bad.
haven't
Your
seen this
base.
since I was fucking 3, so this is gonna
But-
this is gonna
Oh my
hit
God.
me
So we're
hard.
talking
Honestly,
about
wholeheartedly,
basements and
I thought
how-
this didn't exist anymore.
God.
I was
Neither.
convinced.
They got the whole fucking thing on YouTube. Are you shitting me?
I was convinced it
Wow.
was all just a
It's
a
okay.
dream.
It's okay.
oh my god.
But so
Excited.
talking about basements. So my basement, nobody's allowed to see the basement because it's
That's
messed
true.
up. My mom
I
won't
was
let
yelled
us
at.
because
I
it's
was
like
yelled at.
it's a jail cell down there. It's really messy. We just have our boxes, but it's underground. So everything's brick, and then we have those like windows that are kind of like above ground, and they have bars on them. And so my basement's already terrifying as shit. But like sometimes like there's no other room in the house to kind of go. Like we have our house is small-ish. You know, we don't have like a setup like this. So we go downstairs in the basement. And I was like in 8th grade, and my friend Amy was over, and we're sitting there, we're playing our game, and all of a sudden I look up at the window, and there's somebody staring in at us. Like, legit
Jesus,
staring in at us. I didn't know who it was. We screamed, and we ran upstairs, and, like, we had my dad go around and check it out, and he left, but it was terrifying. I
That's
didn't
really
go
fucking
back down
scary.
there for, like, a
Fun
month.
and-
And
God.
we think it was one of the teenagers who walks because our yard's
Oh,
like
yeah,
all
'cause it's
connected.
open like
and
that.
yeah, it's open, so like you can walk through. I do it all the time with the dog, so I don't have to walk around the block all the way because sometimes it's too cold.
Were
But
they
like
just standing there looking in though? Like,
they
not even
literally
moving?
use like so you can't really see too much. Even like you have to actually he physically put his face in the window and was watching us play
Ew.
games. I don't even know how long he was there for, but he was just watching us. It was
Hours.
so fucking
That
creepy.
is really creepy.
And it was
was-
nighttime too, so I didn't
Right.
really see his face for a couple
Yeah.
minutes.
There was one time, also when I was shit only happens to me when I'm fucking child.
Exactly. Now nothing happens to you anymore.
I was outside
Or it does, and
talking.
you're just so numb to it.
exactly, basically.
I was outside talking to a bunch of friends from the neighborhood on my porch, and this fucking guy just out of nowhere comes from out of my backyard, which is hard to get into in the first place because there's a fence
Jesus
back
Christ.
there, my bad, and no shirt on, fucking blood from head to
Oh my
like
God.
dick, just bleeding everywhere. And I'm
Cool.
like, what happened to you, dude?
Thunderdome.
So he's like, and then he just runs away. And I'm like, what the hell? Imagining that? Like, I looked around, I was like, you guys saw that too, right? Like, I shit my pants almost.
You may have just seen a
my
zombie.
God.
Yeah, no, and my dumbass is just trying to joke. I'm like, nice plumber's cracked, and like,
Wow.
so I run inside. I'm like, Dad, there's a fucking dude out there just bleeding all over the place. So
My
he
God.
walks outside, and he's like, all right, let me call the district because he's a cop, and so
Did you find out what happened?
yeah, apparently he got jumped at the playground around the corner from me. And they like really fucked him up. I don't know why they took his shirt. unless it was already off, in which case, wherever you are, guy, that was weird. It was a hot day, admittedly, and he was in jeans, too. Who the fuck wears jeans anymore?
People
Why
who
are
get
you
jumped at
criticizing
playgrounds.
him?
I don't know.
He's wearing jeans.
And he was
That's
ginger. I don't know
unprofessional.
if he was ginger or if there was so much blood in his hair that it was just the
Oh
way.
my god.
But yeah, so that happened. He was bloody as shit, and that's
Wow.
what I dreamt about for the next, 3 nights.
That's scary as
Huh.
hell. Alright, are we playing this?
Is it
I
good?
Well, hang on. He
I
wants
got
to say
another
something.
story.
Okay.
No,
This
that's
one-
Dave.
A little bit more recent because I'm a little bitch.
Good preamble.
I was like 17-ish.
Ish.
And my girlfriend wanted to watch Insidious. I've never watched it.
That's a great movie.
Oh my god, that messed me up too.
I liked it.
Tip,
Or stop.
that song will forever be stuck
It
in my
is
head.
the worst, and
It's
I can't
from
watch
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob
Yeah.
the same anymore.
No, the funniest part is that Tiny Tim is creepy as shit
yeah,
too,
he
so
is.
it didn't help when I finally looked it up.
But when you read a story, it's actually really endearing.
I don't want to do it.
It's
I
actually
can't
really
do it.
endearing.
You
He
can't
died-
make me like.
I
You
think
can't
that
make
was
me like.
intentional.
He died doing what he loved. He died.
That was
literally in the middle of a
100%
performance.
intentional because that guy was creepy.
Okay, so Insidious.
But we were watching Insidious, and I refused to fall asleep with the lights on. So every single light in the house was lit up, like from top to bottom, so 3 floors worth of lights. Yeah. And then she finally, she was sleeping over that night, and she left the next day. And my brother was having to sleep over with his friend. He was sleeping on the couch. And I go up to my bed, and on my phone, I get a push notification that you're under attack. Run.
What?
So you know what I did?
You ran?
I went downstairs and I slept next to my little brother on the floor
Oh.
because he is a stronger human being than I am.
Did you
You
ever
know-
find out who sent you the...
It was a game on my phone I never touched.
You know what I also messed me up? So have you guys ever heard of One Missed Call? It's a scary
Yeah.
movie based. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
ringtone. So my sister watched that movie with us. My sister's so much more afraid of things than I am. She doesn't watch scary movies as much. She was terrified. Me and my friend were sick, okay? We changed her ringtone.
You bitch.
And we called her. And I've never seen her cry so hard in my whole life.
Oh.
It's funny. After that whole Jigsaw thing happened, my
Yeah.
mom got a fucking Funko Pop
Ha! Of
like
Jigsaw?
years later
Of
of
Jigsaw?
Jigsaw. I
That's
still have it
funny.
in my room. I pet its hair
Wow.
sometimes.
It's usually like the scary movies that fuck you up. Like Amityville Horror, the original one.
Yeah.
That really, really fucked me up, especially with I don't remember what it was supposed to be, but it was the kids looking out the window and trying to convince the parents there's something outside, and all of a sudden you just see like these 2 like red dots for eyes, and they blink like 3 times, and it now it looks really stupid, but as a kid I was fucking scared.
It's effective.
Yeah, it was
nice and
scary.
effective.
Speaking of effective stuff, I got one last one. It was on YouTube and it was around the same time. I had a very traumatizing 17th year. David was nearly an adult.
Still trying.
Still trying
It
very
wasn't though, so it doesn't count.
hard. But I was laying in bed watching YouTube, and this ad came up. I forget, it was like this House of Undead or something like that.
Oh,
Oh,
House
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Corpses?
No, it wasn't that, but it was this thing
House
that
of
lived.
Wax?
No, it was like lived in the basement, and then there was a trap door or whatever underneath a rug.
Oh, Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. That's
Evil
it.
Dead reboot.
Yeah.
Is that the one
That.
I watched?
Uh,
No, it's not. Okay, continue.
the look at you just got.
Oh no, Dead Alive.
Okay, got it.
All right. Well, it was like this. Clearly, it was meant to scare you.
Yeah.
But as soon as it popped up, it was this thing that came out from underneath the ground. Like, don't skip it! Don't skip it! Don't skip it! I almost threw my phone across the room. But after that, I noticed around Halloween more
Yeah.
horror film ads are on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Imagine
during
that.
ads, I will just turn down the volume
Yeah.
and I will put my phone down.
Aww.
One more thing that completely, and I just thought about this now because we're about to put a Disney thing on. The fucking Pinocchio scene where the kids turn into donkeys.
donkeys?
I
Yeah.
hate that movie. I will. There is nothing. Somebody want to tell me the point of Pinocchio, the good Disney points of Pinocchio, because I don't see any. Those kids turned into donkeys.
Why?
You
Stop
were
because
terrible
they were
because they
babies,
misbehaved. So you were terrified to misbehave, and like kudos on Walt Disney for
Yeah.
making children want to like not turn into donkeys. But I will forever remember that.
Isn't it an old Italian
Yeah.
because I learned
Well,
that.
yeah,
I
it's
learned
Dominic
that in
the
Aquaman.
donkey.
Yeah.
Did you really?
You learned that in
God.
Aquaman?
No, it's a joke. I knew
Oh.
it was before, but
Alright, well,
that's,
Case-
that's where he learns it.
Oh yeah.
You have to tell yours. So you haven't gone yet.
I just have two.
Okay.
I'll stick to two.
Okay.
One is Land Before Time. Like, watching that fucked me up as a kid.
Really?
So bad.
When the mother died?
When the mom?
Oh my god,
you
yeah.
have a heart! The Tin Man found your heart!
It's inside of the dead mother dinosaur.
Oh, you went to the wizard and you got a heart!
There's a dinosaur in that soul. That's all it is.
There's a soul inside
You know
that
why?
you
Because
were
it's
upset?
dinosaurs. Because it's dinosaurs.
This is true, but it's Disney, so you were
It's not
upset.
Disney.
No,
it's
it's
not
not
Disney.
Disney.
It's
Disney,
Universal.
no.
Really?
It's the same company that did, like, Five Goes Home.
Yeah.
Or Five Goes
Fucking
West.
Five great
Oh my
series.
god, yes,
Okay,
Bible!
well, still, it's a kids movie and it's animated and all that.
But then,
So,
but then I watched it a few years ago, and I realized that it's, like, weirdly Christian, and a lot of it's imagery and allegory.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Holy
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
oh,
Big time.
Super Jesus. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to rewind.
wow. I
and
didn't know
then-
that either.
The
All
next...
the VHSs I have.
You people in VHSs.
I have them too.
I
Jesus.
still
I got
have.
Was it VHS?
Oh my god,
I
this
burned
I
this.
had several of them.
You burned it,
No,
did you
I don't know
really?
what happened to it. I wish
Never
I could
touched
find
it again.
What if it's like, what if you go home and it's sitting in your room?
Dun dun dun.
I would cry.
This isn't the only one, Dave.
No, I
They
know.
have a Christmas one, which is actually really good.
Oh,
Well, we
Except
have
there's
the
a thing in the
Christmas one.
corner of the one room that creeped me out. Anyway,
We have the
No, I know what you're
Christmas
talking
one.
it's great. And then
Yeah.
they have ones that are specific to the movies.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
great.
Same here.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
What's
Casey.
your other one,
Go
Casey?
ahead, Casey.
Oh, so this is for... I think I was maybe 4 or 5 when I saw this. No, older, because this is when I had my Husky. So maybe at least 7 or 8. So there's this really bad B movie called Ghoulies 2.
Oh, I thought you meant the B movie.
No. That's traumatic.
That's
in
a
its
whole.
own-
That's a whole
Right.
other thing.
But so the first Ghoulies
Ooh,
is about
excuse me.
these little creatures being summoned through dark evil magic. Second one, they're being summoned through dark evil magic, but this time at a carnival.
Oh,
Oh.
god.
So one of the Ghoulies hides in a porta potty.
No.
Hides in the toilet of a porta potty. Some poor guy goes in there to hide and shit, and then the thing eats his ass.
Oh.
It eats
Oh
through
my
his
God.
ass and pops out his mouth.
Oh my god.
That scared me, and I couldn't shit for like a month. I refused to sit on a toilet after watching that.
Same thing happened with me, but for Dreamcatcher.
Never saw
Oh
that.
See
man,
what shit
Dream
yeah,
Catcher.
I
yeah,
don't know.
the shit weasel.
Yep.
All right.
Well, Human
it-
Centipede fucked me up
Oh
too.
god,
I couldn't even watch
I've
the
never
one of the
even
funniest
watched the
movies
movie.
ever.
It was
I
pretty
can't even
good.
watch the
I heard the
trailer.
second one's like totally different vibe.
The
though.
second one's meta because
Yeah.
it's about a fan who's obsessed with Human
And
Centipede
then, like
and tries-
staples their mouths to asses.
staples and duct tapes them together.
So when I go to cons, they have a cosplay burlesque.
Ooh.
Somebody did it for Human Centipede, but they used
Was it ass to mouth action? Or was it
no, they used teddy bears, and they
Cowards.
taped the teddy bear. Like there was a whole long line of teddy bears, and the funniest part was this was the first time we ever got up front, and the stage is not very far
Yeah.
from where we're sitting. I've never felt so. I wanted to walk up and get up and leave, but I couldn't.
I feel like
So
it's
you're
way
just
more
sitting there
demented with teddy bears than people.
Looking away, like just looking away, like they were. And he actually ended up putting one of the teddy bears
You want
together
the
on
vanilla
the chain.
paste?
Dude,
Asparagus
that's
and
just so
cuttlefish.
fucking nasty. Like I saw the black and white version of it, and I saw
That's
like
the second one.
that's the second one.
That's
I
the
saw like
second
the
one.
one scene I couldn't do it.
The second one's all in black and white.
It's disgusting.
It's weird. And like at one point he jerks off with like sandpaper.
Yeah, the second one's
I heard
real
about
fucking different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing like the first
Check out
one at
that
all.
sandpaper, Jesus Christ!
First one feels like a parody the whole time.
It does.
Yeah, it's funny. They're both really funny, I thought.
I don't know.
They're both weird.
Even
I
like when
can't
they're
watch
screaming
them.
in pain because they're getting their mouth shitted into.
Yeah.
That is even funny to
All I
me.
can
It's
think of
hilarious.
now is South Park.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw up.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'm about to throw
It
up.
still won't read.
I just think it's nauseating and disgusting.
All right, I want to see this. What you guys are talking about?
Let's fucking. This is gonna give me some
I'm gonna
serious.
turn down the sound just in case because I don't feel like dealing with Disney and fair use and all that.
Yeah.
Alright.
So we're just gonna do the imagery.
Is
Yeah,
that
I'll
okay,
listen to
guys?
the
To
song
just
after,
do the
though.
imagery?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
just do the
yeah,
imagery.
and we can comment.
Yeah, we're just
on
gonna
it as
comment
well.
because I'm not dealing with fair use because fair use
Yeah.
is a fucking.
Oh.
Yeah, we can.
Oh.
we can listen to
Oh
that.
yes, I
That's what I
remember
quoted.
this.
So there's a
Yes,
dancing
they're
tree.
dancing.
Oh,
I
I
remember
thought they were-
this.
I
This
thought they were
never
squid.
messed with me.
They,
Kind of
It looks squiddish.
it does
Guys,
kind of
we
look
should
Swedish.
We're not gonna sing this.
Oh, it's the evil queen from
Yeah.
Snow White.
It gets more interesting.
Wait.
She was scary.
Guys,
Oh, they
this
just
is
how
this
she
is
moves
a song
around.
from The Ride, the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the entire
Okay.
Oh, man.
VHS of the.
They're gonna run a train on her.
I hope.
All right, now
That's
we're
what freaked me
on
out, the way she
porch.
looks.
Oh, that is
Wow.
creepy.
Oh!
Shit. Oh, the big bad wolf.
Yeah,
He was creepy looking.
Oh.
Captain Hook.
this never messed me up.
And she's back.
Oh.
It's like she never left.
That bitch.
Yeah,
It
more
was
dancing
dancing in a
trees.
circle. and freaked the
I
fuck
hear
out.
the song. I can hear it in my head.
I like
Um,
the suits are pretty cool.
There.
What the
I
fuck
mean,
is that?
Oh.
It's a
That's
ghost.
just Donald.
It's Donald and
It's a
a
sperm.
Okay.
It kind of looks like one.
You know, now looking back, it's not that bad.
No, it really
But
isn't.
it's still
I-
freaking me out.
It's
the
freaking
trees.
me out a little bit, yeah.
Oh, Madame Leota, she's freaky.
Huh.
Have
When
you
I
never?
went to
You've
Disney just once.
Okay, I'm about to say.
When I was in there, I was like, "Oh my god, there's fucking ghosts in here, bro!" Like, no wonder they called this place the Haunted Mansion. I didn't know the holograms were a goddamn thing.
My sister used
That
to.
looks like a really bad dream
My sister had a
costume.
really
Yeah,
hard
it was.
time going in there for a while because of the
Oh,
beginning
oh,
scene with the darkness when they would go. I love when it goes dark in the front room because one little kid will scream their
Yeah.
eyes out.
What?
My sister.
Tree eyes look like vaginas.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah,
that.
vaginas.
The
Totally
wolf freaks
vaginas.
me out for sure. Like that's
The wolf?
disturbing.
Yeah, the wolf and the witch and then Maleficent also freaked me out. Because her
Maleficent's-
face was really
oh.
like a
The
shiny.
nostalgia here is
And
real.
they've given
I don't
her.
I
know if they
know,
call it
I know.
nostalgia.
I remember
I-
They've
being
given her
like
the chin.
5
too.
years old
Yeah.
and watching this in
It's
my
really weird.
aunt's bedroom.
Do we go into the mansion?
You just did.
Yeah,
That's true. I wasn't really paying
and
attention.
this is the end.
Okay.
So hurry back. Yeah, blah blah blah. We would like your company.
Ew, why is
Shiny.
she sweaty?
sweating.
Greasy.
It's probably hot as fuck.
Ooh, she is oily.
It is Florida. Oh wait, no, is this California?
No,
I
this
think
is,
this one is California.
this is California.
Yeah,
yeah.
this is
still hot.
Disneyland.
Huh.
Yeah, so still gonna be hot.
All right. To a child, yeah, I can see how that would be scary.
And then they just don't move anymore. I
That
think
was
that's
it?
what got me. Yeah,
that was it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
When you're fucking 3, it feels like an eternity.
Oh, dude, this was the longest, and it was all a dream, which made it even worse.
Oh, that's
It,
annoying.
it wasn't a dream so much as a date, like in her head sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like she
Oh,
wasn't
so she
asleep.
was just like tripping.
Yeah, she was tripping. Oh, you know what? Have you guys ever heard of Ghost Ship?
Yep, that's dope.
Isn't that a ride?
The beginning scene, I just saw it recently and it fucked me up because they get like
Oh my
cut by
God.
this wire. It was nuts. And they were still all like alive. It was messed up.
Mhm.
Ew, Casey, what is this?
I'm trying to find that Ghoulies
Pat.
thing.
Fucking Eli Roth. The
Ew.
Green Inferno.
That was weird.
That's a hilarious
I
movie.
went to see that by myself in theaters because no one else would see with me, and I had to get up and leave.
Did you notice that Junie from Spy Kids is in it?
Wait. We need
No.
to
Yeah.
play them. We need to play
The
them.
boy
As
from Spy
who?
Kids.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the guys that dies. I don't remember
Really?
when, but yeah.
Shit.
Do you remember when we watched the deleted ending from Titanic?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, we need to show them that later.
Oh,
But that one to me wasn't as scary because
That's because you don't have a clitoris that they were gonna rip off.
no,
Oh my
not even
God,
that.
what is
It had nothing to do with that.
What movie is this?
The Green Inferno. It's about like female
Oh
genitals.
yeah,
I was just
no,
thinking
I
because,
saw
like,
that.
You're expecting the people there to do that kind of thing.
So
Just the way that
as
it's
a
framed
woman,
up.
I don't want to
Like,
see it.
No, if you want like
No.
weird cannibal murder,
Holocaust.
Bone Tomahawk.
Cannibal Holocaust.
So we went to
Cannibal
go
Holocaust
see
is
The
great.
Green Inferno for Halloween because it was supposed to be a scary movie.
It's not. It's just torture porn.
Yeah,
It
basically.
is.
But we thought it was a
This is it.
scary movie. So we
I couldn't shit for a month after watching.
me
it.
and my two friends,
This dude
we
looks
went
like he wants to get that done to him.
and we
Right?
we'd started eating beforehand.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we started.
It made me hungry.
No, of course it did, Casey. That doesn't surprise me. But we started eating beforehand, and then we'd stop because we had to go. So we went, and we're sitting in there, and we're all still a little hungry. But me and my two friends are sitting there, and we're watching, and it's the scene where the guy they're about to cook his torso, and my friend just looks at me and goes, "You know, I'm getting kind of hungry." Loud enough that me, my other friend, people in front of me,
I would've
the
pissed
people
myself.
behind me, all are looking at her. I'm like, I just want to point this out to you. You might not want to say that while they're eating a human being in front of us.
When they take
That's
out
the
his
joke!
eyes, that's my issue. I
Yes.
can't deal with eyes.
So,
yeah, the eyes, fuck that.
but
It looks
then
like
I
he's
got
having a
home
very
after
violent
watching that movie, and I had
It's
it
a-
was
it's a
um.
reverse poop
Oh
happening.
my god.
It's a reverse poop.
Oh
happening.
my god.
Whoa.
He's
stop.
screaming exit only right now.
Whoa. I thought it came out of his
But
mouth.
so I got home and we
may not
tried
be
to
the whole
finish
scene.
eating, but I had a beef. It was noodles and beef.
But yeah.
I couldn't eat the meat. I couldn't. Like, my mom was like, you have to. And I'm like, I can't. She's like, why did you go see the movie? Because I was like, I didn't realize it was about cannibals, but now I can't eat the meat. It took me 2 days to finally
the
eat.
medium of film, maybe a vegetarian.
2 days. I couldn't eat meat. 2 days. I refused to eat it.
Even the one guy who got killed by the ants bothered me.
When,
Really?
when
Yeah.
did that happen?
That was hilarious.
Oh,
That looks
yeah,
so
no, no.
bad.
No, my favorite one was the guy who got left and they ate him because munchies.
Yeah, that was,
That was
actually
my
Yeah, I
good.
favorite
forgot
one.
about
That was the only one I didn't hate.
But it was also disturbing to watch them like shove a fucking bone up their vagina to make sure or to find like who was pure.
Yeah.
Did we not remember that?
No, I remember
Okay,
that.
I was
skimmed
more
through it.
traumatized by the
find
eating.
I didn't find the movie as traumatizing as you.
You don't
Like-
have a vagina.
I don't.
You also
I would imagine it hurts.
don't
though.
have a problem with cannibalism.
I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Food is food.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Food is food.
I'd rather
Don't-
die.
Dave, there's already a hole in that wall.
Yeah, I
Is
went
that
up
from that
January.
exact thing happening?
Yes.
All right.
Just one of your bad
So those
jokes.
are traumatizing events that happened to us as
Oh, yes.
children.
Comment
And
below
young
your
adults.
for movies, because
traumatizing
trust
events.
me, we could do a whole nother episode about
Absolutely.
just regular
Jesus.
trauma.
Oh my god, yes.
We're not
Yes,
doing
we
that.
could.
We're
We
not-
all
No,
need a
I don't think we
therapist.
should.
I've got
We would have to have a
I'm
therapist
getting one.
sit in on
Alright.
I
that
would need a lawyer
conversation.
here because the trial's not done yet, and my uncle's still alive. I'm just messing. That's not
He
real.
still sends him flowers.
Hi, Pat's family.
All of my uncles are great people. None of them have ever touched me inappropriately. Just a disclaimer.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yet, but this time it'll be consensual.
Pat's
On that note,
Pat's a cheap date.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love
Anyway. All right. Well,
Is that it?
Casey.
yeah.
Is that it?
Thanks
All
for
right.
listening.
Yeah. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. We don't have a Facebook. We probably never will. Right?
We
fuck
might.
yeah,
I
who
know.
the fuck
Fuck
uses
Facebook.
Facebook?
Oh,
Me.
Yeah,
but
I know.
okay.
Who the fuck uses Facebook for
I.
like
Hey,
practical reasons?
you know what? Unless somebody says we should get a Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless somebody
Yeah.
really wants us
Eventually,
to.
we'll have stuff on our YouTube. But for now, follow us on Castbox, Instagram, Twitter.
Hit that heart button. Leave a comment.
Yeah. Thanks.
Even if it's mean.
Yeah, please let it be mean.
Yeah, ream us a new one.
I'm a little sensitive. So,
We won't. Missy won't read the comments.
Missy
Yeah.
won't read the comments.
See you later, guys. Fuck you.
off.
Bye.
Are we good? Is that it?
Yeah.
Are we good?
Damn it.
Oh,
I
solid
didn't
intro.
laugh.
Welcome to Struggle City.